Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Wednesday, January 19th. So the moon is going to continue to be in this fiery energy of Leo. We are definitely looking to express ourselves. Our heart chakras are just swelling up with emotions that just need to be released. We want to share our emotions, our thoughts, our ideas with other people. We want to motivate ourselves to find different outlets to create, to find playfulness, to bring the joy and happiness back into our lives. There are 9 different aspects here today. 6 of them involve this moon in Leo. We have the moon bumping into Venus in not the most pleasant way, likely creating an activation and a trigger in our personal relationships. Venus is retrograde. She is digging herself out of the dark pit that she has been in and preparing to go direct on the 29th. She's been doing a lot of contemplation in that dark pit about what makes her happy, what brings her joy, what is worth her time and energy, who is worth her time and energy, and what it is that she wants to recreate, rebuild, restructure once she gets out of this dark pit, now that she's had some time to kind of strip herself down, humble herself, and get really real with the basic wants, needs, and desires of her heart space. The moon is going to oppose Saturn. This is really going to put us at odds and make us feel the weight of the roles and responsibilities that we currently have just compressing on our shoulders. That Saturn energy wants to show us where it is that new systems, new structures, new foundations need to be built in order for us to reach our long-term goals. The moon in Leo, though, very connected with what it is that we have to start doing for ourselves instead of putting other people ahead of ourselves, because of course we are building up a lot of guilt, a lot of resentment towards the people that we love for constantly putting our own wants, needs, and desires aside. Now we're at this very pivotal point in change. We know we have to make a change. We know we have to transform our lives. And now we have to get down to the nitty-gritty on what it is that we have to build for ourselves, visualizing that end goal, that end dream, and working our way back to what it is we can do in the here and now in order to align with that greater, grander vision. The moon is going to bump into Neptune, and this is going to be a beautiful energy for us to be inspired, for us to really grasp a very strong connection with our intuition, with our higher selves, to tap into our creativity, to tap into the dream, the vision that we want to create, and actually give us the boldness, the bravery, the courage within our emotional selves to do what we have to do in order to bring some of those elements to life. We're definitely feeding off of these aha moments, these realizations that Venus is having in this dark pit, and the moon bumping into Venus right now, especially after bumping into Neptune, is going to highlight for us where it is that we actually are making magic within ourselves. How do we do that? We gain a vision, we create a dream, we invoke an emotion as if we are already living that end goal. And we actually figure out what it is that we need in the here and now in order to make that long-term dream actually happen. So the moon bumping into Venus right now is very much focused on our emotional needs. What do we need to feel happy? What do we need to feel joy? Where can we invite the playful energy back? Yes, Venus has a little bit of work to do to get herself out of that dark pit, but it's happening day by day by realizing what it is that we have been depriving ourselves of as far as joy and worth and value go, especially in our personal relationships, and where it is that maybe we can switch things up and start building new routines and relationships that are going to support the kind of joy and happiness that we truly want to be living in each and every single day. Mars is going to bump into Pluto. And this is definitely going to be interesting to see how it plays out on the greater, grander collective. It wouldn't surprise me if this created a lot of collective global anger, because Mars, of course, is our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, and our anger, if need be. And Pluto, of course, is the great transformer by destroying and putting a certain death to elements that are no longer serving us and really highlighting the pain and the suffering in order to act as a catalyst and inspire us and motivate us to make a dramatic change. Now, Mars is in Sagittarius. So this is about truth. This is about the greater, grander truth at play here, and breaking down some of the delusion, some of the misinformation that has caused a great disservice to humanity at this point in time. Now, Mars bumping into Pluto in this way could also have a major effect on some weather patterns. We've already seen underground volcanoes explode. We've seen tsunami warnings. We've seen some really strange weather patterns. This particular energy could create another really wild earthly event that could cause a lot of damage and a lot of destruction. In our own personal lives, though, this is a great motivating force because it's overwhelming, it's intense, it's borderline obsessive, but we are standing in a brand new power. We are more determined than ever to make some changes and to pursue a brand new path because of our new truth, because of the new meaning and purpose that we're being kind of triggered to pursue. So this definitely could work to our advantage as long as you don't sit in that darkness and you choose to kind of use that as a motivator and don't let it paralyze you and keep you in a state of non-action. The moon is going to bump into Neptune, and this is likely going to create a lot of delusion, especially around if we do have a major event, if we do have a major truth be revealed. This is going to create a lot of delusion in the collective as well. This is an outside trigger, an outside activation, really kind of questioning what it is that we've been doing, what it is that we've been misunderstanding about on the greater, grander collective. We're having a hard time aligning with our higher selves, with our intuition, and therefore we kind of rely more on what's going on in our physical realms. And what's going on in our physical realms is crazy. It is chaotic. It does not make sense. And that is going to just amplify the kind of confusion, the state of confusion that many of us have been in, that we need to be in order to prepare ourselves for some very serious clarity. Now, the sun is going to trine the true node. This is beautiful for a couple of reasons. First of all, the true node is now in Taurus energy. It's in that Taurus and Scorpio axis. The sun at this point is at its crisis degree at 29 degrees in Capricorn, preparing to move into Aquarius in just a couple of hours. This is the last aspect that the sun makes in Capricorn energy, and it's a trine, which is a good energy, with the true node. This means that we are seeing our long-term goals. We are seeing where it is that we want to grow, where it is that we need to improve, where it is that we need to push ourselves, to boss up, to create a strong foundation within ourselves, within our lives, to actually support the kind of changes that we know that we are planning on making. This literally triggers us to rise to the challenge, to literally just cut the cord with the past that is holding us back and keeping us in a paralyzed state of non-action. We are setting our sights very clearly on the goal, on the dream that we want to bring to life. And now we have this bravery, we have this courage to inspire us to do whatever is necessary in order to bring this baby to life. The moon is going to bump into Chiron, and this is where we start doting that very powerful moment we just had. This is where we also start speaking a lot of fear into our dreams, into the plans that we just created, likely because we're feeling very insecure, we're feeling uncertain. Why? Because when we look at our physical realms, it does not make sense how it is that we are going to be able to bring our dreams and visions to life. This is where we have to lean all the way in to our faith, to the trust in the universe, to the trust in the greater, grander plan. But our insecurities, our doubts get very loud in order to see whether or not we are going to continue to rise to the challenge, rise to the occasion, to overcome all of the negative Nancy narratives that are definitely going to be very loud in our heads, trying to talk us out of growth. Now, this is when the sun moves into Aquarius. I'm going to get you to go ahead and check out the astro event that I put out for this in January's energy forecast, because I do go into a little bit more depth. But basically, what do we need to know? Well, the Aquarian energy is about vision of the future, knowledge, technology. It is recognizing where it is that we have to free ourselves and liberate ourselves from some of the limiting, restricting constructs that we would have been illuminated to thus far, especially when in Capricorn season. This is where we have to get innovative. This is where we have to constantly push ourselves to be progressive enough to fight for change. This is where we have to rebel against the old, outdated systems in order for us to align with what it is that we know that the collective needs to do in order to actually get to new earth. This is a powerful time for the people. This is another chapter where huge amounts of groups of people will awaken to the truth that has been suppressed for many, many moons. This is going to be a shift like no other. This is going to be mind-blowing because it opens up our minds to new ways of doing things, to understanding how certain things went down from a different perspective. And it is truly aligning us with the higher realms. That Aquarian energy is ruled over by Uranus. Uranus shocks us, disrupts old systems, old structures that are no longer supporting the human collective's growth. And in turn, we get a vision, we have an understanding, we definitely align with like-minded people, and we form a very solid group in the collective in order to push us out of the old and into the new.